Welcome to the channel. I am back with another piece of advice for you to help you out as we wage war against the spirit behind narcissistic abuse so that you can attract your kingdom spouse, okay? All right, so last week we talked about, is it a nerd or is it a narcissist, right? So I'm glad that you all got a chance to see my perspective on that. But let's just go a little bit further on that, get a little bit more clinical, but similar concepts. Okay, well, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you've been with me for a while, welcome back. And if you have been with me for a while, then I expect to hear you talking to me in the comments. I expect you to like the video and to subscribe. Yes, we are a community. You're not going to hide back there and just watch the videos and not be a community. That's part of what I do. This is about relationships. So if you want to build relationship, you can start here on this channel and start to talk to people, talk to me, share your opinions, like the video, be empathetic, and help me build the channel so we can get more people, and this could be something that I can do even more, okay? So help me out with that. It would be very empathic for me to hear from you, and it would really feed me, and it feeds me that I'm able to bless you. So how do I know that unless you let me know? All right? And make sure that you also take advantage, if you are in the kingdom or if you want to be a Christian, why don't you go over to my other channel on Thursday, same day. I post things by now. It's a new post on my channel, Joy Party TV with Patrice D'Evans. I'll keep that in the link. I'll put the link at the end of the video where you can just be a part of our online church, okay? And I just stay aligned with all the stuff we do here. So welcome. Okay, so this is what we're talking about today. We're going to be talking about attachment styles. The Lord has been put in my heart to be talking about attachment styles, okay? And so you can have what they call a secure attachment style, or you can have an insecure attachment style. And so these are things that you can grow out of, okay? So that's good news. Finally, something that we can grow out of, right? Because a lot of times on this channel, we talk about the narcissist. And one of the things that's my stance is that you cannot change. And as much as you would like the person to change, or you want to stay with somebody and wait on them, you're going to get sicker and sicker. If anything's going to happen, the best thing you can do for them is let them be alone so that they can grow and get the help that they need, and so that you can heal and grow. With a narcissist, if you know for sure someone's a narcissist, the best thing you could do is just move on, let them be alone so that they can see themselves grow and see what level they're at, because maybe they're at a low level where they could do something about it, okay? And if you know any children in your life, you need to start working on that early. If you start seeing signs, okay, of being that way, get the help early so they never get to past 30, okay? All right, so what we're talking about today, though, is for you as the guy, all right? So this is particular for a Christian man who's single, who's doing all the right things, but for some reason, you're giving off something to the woman that turns her off, and it makes her feel like, you know, she's watching all these videos about people talking about narcissism, right? So as far as she's concerned, you could be a narcissist, right? So this is not for a person who knows that they're a narcissist or suspects that. If you do, you should get diagnosed, and to look at my other videos, you'll see the signs if you are, okay? There's so much out here now. So there are videos, and I can do one of those if you want to. Comment below and I'll do that. But if you know for sure you're not, in fact, you think you might be an empath, but for some reason, you cannot get what's inside of you across for her to see. Now, I've done videos like this before. So what could be the issue? What could you be putting out that you don't realize? There's a disconnect somewhere. And ladies, this could be happening to you too. So there's a disconnect where I'm sweet, I'm kind, I know I am. Isn't that enough? No, it's not enough. That's what I'm here for as your coach. It is not enough for you to know that you're nice, your mom to know, your father, the inner circle to know. You have got to show it on the outside. You've got to build the skills to know how to communicate outwardly in your nonverbals and your verbals so that people can tell that you're really a kind person. Otherwise, we're just going to go by your actions. You are a sum of all of your actions, right? And we don't know you. The whole point is that we're reading you from the outside to find out. Okay, so what I want you to know is that everyone has an attachment style. Okay, so you're born a certain way. You're born in the way that you connect with your caretaker when you're born, right? And I have workshops on this and everything. And then it could be altered by the way your caretaker takes care of you. Oh, so you're a certain way. Maybe you're very sensitive and you want to be hugged a lot. That's just the way you are, and that's your style. That's your natural style, the way you were born. Then your caretaker does a good job with responding to that. And there's a healthy way that you have this relationship. When they leave, you feel secure because somehow your caretaker made it clear to you that it's okay, I'm going to be back and we're going to develop this and we're going to do it in an age-appropriate way, and there's not going to be any interruption in the way that I take care of you until you are old enough to be on your own. That is what would be considered a secure attachment style. Now, if you are born that way where you need to be connected to someone and you have a parent that doesn't like to be connected because they have an attachment style that is not warm, it's not touchy-feely, right? And we'll talk about what that could be later. And so you end up adapting to the way that they are towards you, and it kind of skews the way your natural attachment style would be, okay? And it may end up being, and then what happens is it becomes insecure, starts. Then what could also, and if that was the case, then you just develop it and you just turn into that way. And I could tell you the ones that are insecure, the different categories of those. How about your regular, you don't really have to connect with it. You don't have to have somebody hug you or kiss you or anything. You're just kind of like balanced in the sense that you can get a hug or you cannot get a hug. You're fine. It still could be a secure attachment style. Whatever your natural way that you were born, your facilitators, the people around you, were supposed to nurture that and make sure that it's balanced and that it's empathic enough and that you can pull away when you want to. And you got that I can be alone and I can be with people. I feel loved even when I'm not around them. Even if they're not able to be around me, I'm healthy. However your attachment style is, you feel secure. You feel fine, whether the person's with you or not. And you are acting fine towards others. You show love and to others and you give them the feeling like everything's fine. It's not just the way you receive it is what everybody talks about, but it's also the way you respond to relationships. Are you showing love? Do you care about your mom? Or does it bother you if something bothers them? Do you try to make sure that she knows that you're okay, you know? So this is give and take relationship that you have that's very secure and healthy, no matter how you were born. If you were born where you like to be touchy-feely, or if you were born in a way where you don't need to be. You know, either way, the facilitator and your caretaker was able to balance it with you. I think the way God made it was that you were going to be like your parents, and if they were healthy, they can understand you and they can raise you well. In the healthy world that God wanted us to be in, where that's what I'm here to get you back whole again, your parents would have been whole, you would have been whole, you would have been in the place you were supposed to be, and they were able to see the kinds of needs you need because they needed it, or they knew their spouse needed it. So this is like a perfect environment where we understand each other enough to know when we need to pull or push and what you need so that you could be a healthy adult one day and you have healthy relationships and you're not feeling the feelings of abandonment and all that, right? So that's a secure attachment style in a healthy situation. That's what we strive for. If you had any of the ways that you were born, but not only did you have a parent that was not very warm, but you had an adverse child instance that happened to you. Somehow you got trauma was given to you. You were either something happened to you physically, psychologically, spiritually, in some way you had trauma. That means it interrupted the way that you do things, and somebody actually shocked your mind by doing something really offensive and painful in a place where it brought confusion in your brain and you didn't know where to put it in your brain. And now it's just stuck in this place where you just walk around with it now. And like it's happening like it's still with you. You haven't resolved it. You haven't really got massaged into that and got through that so that you can put it in a place that makes sense and grow and be healthy, because it wasn't supposed to happen. But if God let it happen, then it happened and God was going to make you strong. You were going to use it for something is what I believe. So this is where my coaching comes in to help you figure out who were you supposed to be after that happened so that you could be everything you need to be today to bless others, to bless yourself, and to be able to have those healthy relationships. So what happens when you have an adverse child experience is what it's called. It shifts you, it changes you, and it makes you respond to the world differently. Okay, so now you can have a blend of so many things. And if it's an ongoing thing, like I had when I was younger, where it's a regular thing that happens to you regularly, it could be the offense that's repeated, or it could just be a lifestyle, a culture, a way people talk, a way people act that just raised you in that way. And now here you are on my channel. You're like, okay, now I want my kingdom spouse. This is what I have a concern with a lot of prophetic, our prophets in our kingdom and all of them. I love what they're doing, but I do have to let you know that many people that they're talking to have these issues, attachment style issues that are insecure, and that's why they haven't found or met or been able to connect with their kingdom spouse. The kingdom spouse is probably looking at them, but does not think that they're ready to really be with them. And so that's where my coaching comes in, to get you healthy so that you can be seen and you can see your kingdom spouse and be ready for that relationship. Because the worst thing you could do is go into the relationship with the insecure attachment style and start to affect that relationship. You know what I mean? And then you end up having problems and you have children. It's just like nobody really wants to do the inside work, but kingdom people, we're supposed to be wanting to do inside work. Okay? All right. So that all being said, insecure attachment styles can be anxious avoidant, where you feel like you're afraid of somebody leaving you. And it's been called a love addict. And that's something that I overcame from, where you're a very sensitive person. I'm empathic, y'all know from the web series. I hope you go see it. The 6-part web series talks about my life. It'll tell you how I know all this, how I'm an expert in this field of narcissistic abuse, and why God's using me for it to help you. Well, love addicts are afraid of losing people, so they're willing to do things they shouldn't be doing in order to stay in a relationship. So you have to be very careful with promiscuity or just making mistakes that are things that you normally wouldn't do. It isn't in your personality, but you're so afraid of losing the person that you're finding yourself doing things you really shouldn't be doing. Then you have the dismissive avoidant, where you have the same fear of losing people, so you just never get close to people. You get fearful when people start to get close to you. You could just imagine the activities and the things that you say and do that might be off-putting, and it's subconscious. You don't realize you're being off-putting, and it could sometimes look like you are a narcissist because you are doing some of the things they do. Perhaps the reason why you're like that is because you were raised by a narcissist, or maybe you were treated poorly by some family members or someone, a teacher or somebody who was that way, and you picked up these traits. It affected who you really are, and now you're responding that way. So you could be pushing people away without even realizing it. And that now the dismissive avoidance, a lot of times they're locked in as a sweet person, but no one's seeing it. Because I teach people, we don't go by the fact that you think you're sweet. You need to act like it, because I don't read your mind. It is being abusive to try and read someone's mind. We're not here to read people's minds. We're here to take what they give us. And if they're nice and they're giving off that, then they lose. So since I'm on your side, I have to help you not lose by doing something about it so that you can heal from this. Okay. Good news is you can. Then there is the fearful avoidant, where you have both. Okay. Where sometimes you are clingy and other times you push back. And this could be from more adverse childhood experiences that are really severe. Some people are talking about how that could align with a disorder. There are disorders that are like that. And it's very similar to the disorder that's like that. I believe that any one of these could lead into a serious disorder if it's unattended, and if you grow in this place where you get more and more and more and more anxious and worried, and the relationships keep reinforcing the things. If you keep on going with the wrong relationships, that's why I'm here. You will you could possibly be reinforcing what your trauma was when you were younger, because trauma bonds, and this is a lot of information at once, will have you looking forward or attracted to and wanting the same people that raised you, even if they were abusive. You can say all you want to that you don't want that, but you are attracted to that because that's all you know. The subconscious is much more powerful than the conscious. You know that. So if you keep on having these, if you don't get the coaching or the therapy or the help to undo this, well, now I'm learning that I naturally can heal myself, but people are not born that way. You really can't do it yourself. You need a coach, a therapist, somebody to help you, be that mirror for you that's safe. So if you get that help and you get better at being able to detect when you're saying certain things and when you're keeping these generational curses, is what we call it in the kingdom, in your life, even in new relationships, if you don't break that cycle, you're just going to keep on having them. And what it does is it makes you sicker. It's reinforcing these lies in your mind of the enemy. And you go through it again. You go through it again. You feel like worthless each time you get into a relationship. So you need to get out of these relationships, stop, make a pause, get a coach. You can click on my Calendly link and I can help you with that. That's what I do. That's what God has me doing for young men at first, and for the women. I'm a Christian matchmaker. and then start breaking out of it. And it doesn't have to take a very long time if it's depending on what level you're at. If it's severe, then of course I would encourage you to get a therapist, so it could be a long-term, like more deep work. But I can do a lot in a short amount of time with you because of the Holy Spirit, because of the anointing. So please click on the Calendly link and see if this is something for you. Okay, so those are the insecure attachment styles. So the one I'm most concerned about is the dismissive avoidant one. The fearful avoidant one, I am also. However, I'm concerned that that could be something that could be more serious than we think, and that the only way to know is to diagnose it. So providing that your fearful avoidance, where you do both, is really mild and is just really at the same level as anyone's dismissive avoidant or anxious avoidant. If it's at the same level, it's really just from adverse childhood experience, then it can be fixed. It can be helped. What I want to talk to you about as the gentleman, as the man, is that you are the strong one. You're the one with the testosterone. You were born with that. Whether you don't feel strong or not, you could be the slimmest, but you still were born with testosterone. And you could be taller. No matter how you slice it, you are the one with the testosterone. So you really do have to come more gently with her. You have to have the empathy. You have to watch what you say and what you do, especially now that we know so much about aggression and how people are out there. She's being taught. She has a lot of information out there, and the enemy's going to use it to against you to get her to think things that aren't there. So if you really do think that you have any of these quirky ways where it's like, it's kind of quirky, where you don't know why you just said no, like I don't want to, or you just, I'm thinking of Dumb and Dumber, when the guy is with the girl and he's very innocent, but he's like hitting her like a boy. You know what I mean? And she thinks it's cute. She thinks it's adorable. And that's the thing. A lot of women, no one wants to tell you this, think that guys that are like quirky, awkward, maybe I said the word nerdy before, they think it's innocent and they think it's cute, especially if you're cute, And a lot of times you're cute from the inside out and you don't know it. Or maybe we got to tweak a few things here or there. I do that in coaching too. I do a lot of stuff, image consulting, all of that. But we work from the inside out. I've always done that, even when I did my hair journey. Inside out, always, okay? In fact, that's going to be our message for Joy Party TV. All right, so the work here is to think before you speak, okay? So the things I wrote down to share with you is that you want to have empathy. It's all about communication, okay? So you want to get help and heal. If you have extensive healing, you need to go to therapy and all that. If you need a coach just to help you just get right, then I can help you. And I do some deep therapy as well. So you want to be able to communicate. Communication is the key, verbal and nonverbal. Empathy, being considerate, really working on that muscle. So you're looking at her. She's being the one that you are focused on, not you and what you're going through and you. You have to find a way to balance. How can you think of you and her at the same time? And even if the way you do things is what you're used to, be open to start reading her and asking her questions, not interrogating, like that, but just asking questions about, how she likes certain things done. Learn from her, make it a give and take. So, well, I do things this way, and be open to change. Your way isn't the only way. There could be a different way. You're saying you want a relationship that leads to marriage. Well, you're going to be compromising for the rest of your life in this marriage, okay? So this is not Disney, okay? We're not trying to just, someday my prince will come. We're actually talking about God's way, where it's long term, okay? And ladies, this ain't Disney, so he's not going to be Prince Charming. He's going to be a human being that God marvelously made, that grows, that makes mistakes, that's learning about themselves as well. So you need to learn them just as much as they need to learn you. You shouldn't be going by the outward appearance and not thinking of their heart. You can only go by their outward communication because you're not reading their minds. But there's so much more to a person than just what they think. I misread a lot by the way I look on the outside, and no one wants that. And women, if we don't want that, then we need to not do that, okay? There are so many wonderful men just sitting there, and no one is picking them, and they're the gold mines, okay? I'm living with one. I finally found my love, and, I had to get more mature in what I was looking for in a man. So that was just a side note for the women. But for the men, she could be doing that But if you don't do your work to be gentle in the way that you speak to her and really look at her in the eyes and listen and practice, and the third one is to check in. And if you need to repeat what she's saying to make sure you understand it because your attention span isn't good because your video games have ruined your attention span, I'm going to say it. Auntie Patrice is going to say it. And being on your own, doing things like you want to do. All of us right after the pandemic, we were all doing things like we wanted to do and looking a fool. We had to get back into figuring out how to share conversations, how to share stuff, how to be a part of things. Okay, everybody claims they want to be a part of things, but they don't want to do the things that they have to do to be a part of things. You have to change some things about yourself. We want kingdom spouses, but we don't realize we are the ones that are deterring, making them not want us. And it's not because you're a narcissist or you're mean. It's because you're not working on yourself. Christians, don't think God's going to just drop something down to you. This is my biggest message, is that we talk about how God's going to bless us with so many things. And a lot of the prophecies even say it. I've said it. We've all said it in the kingdom, the fivefold the leaders of the Christian faith, is that God gives you direction. He gives you, you've heard us say it. I mean, God told Noah to build the ark. He tells you to do something and he guides you in that direction. There's no way that he tells you to do something for everything he's going to give you, but love is one that he tells you not to do anything about. You don't got to clean up. You don't got to get healthy. You don't got to get your body right, your clothing, your smell good. You don't got to take care of your skin. You know, get your scalp healthy. Make sure you don't have any dandruff on your clothes. Make sure that your breath smells good. Make sure that you are sitting up straight. You know what I mean? And you're speaking properly. All these things, this is part of preparation. God prepares. 9 months pregnant before you have the baby. Come on. God's about preparing. And I rebuke the demon spirit lying to us in the Christian faith that we don't work for our kingdom spouse. We're waiting for that to just come out of the sky. Take me as I am. I have done coaching with people and the hardest people to coach would be Christian women, especially. I'm going to keep it real. They just think they're fine just because they're Christian. And I'm hearing so many red flags. The one was off the chart. I didn't know where to go with that. And she couldn't tell why men don't want to be with her. And so I want to share with you men that I don't want that for you. Okay, men are different. You guys are okay with working. You are practical. You know that you have to take steps. If you in 3 months could change and deal with the thing that's bothering you, that's in the way, wouldn't you want to see it and deal with it rather than let it sit there for 20 more years if the Lord tarries? If we even have that on the earth. So when she says something and you repeat back, I want you to sit in it. Receive what is being said. Don't have your mind on something else. She can tell. You have to be gentle with women, but you want to still be a man. So what is that called? A gentle man. You know, that was my son that told me that. One of my sons told me that. A gentle man, you know, is what women are looking for in the kingdom. And this is what God wants you to be. So I don't know if this is touching your heart in any way, but if it is, I do want to hear from you in the comments. I do need y'all to help me get this content out. I am obviously locked in and I don't know what's going on out there, but it's not letting this channel grow. So if you really want this content and you really want me to continue to grow, I need your help. I need you to click the bell. I need you to subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed. You click the notification bell, like the videos, comment, and share. Share my videos and get me out of this like holding pattern that I'm in where it's like I can't get past a certain point no matter what I do. Even when you guys, their videos that break through, it's like something's on the channel. So I would like your prayer. I'm praying for favor, and I'm praying over the channel so that I can reach more people so that we can have a great community. And listen, believe it or not, you are part of a community whether you like it or not. If you've come here more than 3 times, you're part of a community. And that's a good thing because if you're Gen Z or millennial, that is the whole point, right? You want to be a part of a community. Well, you got to do your part. You got to step out of your comfort zone, like something, say hi, give a wave, give a thumbs up if you're scared to talk. But you got to be a part of something. And you might find somebody, meet somebody in that community, okay? All right, so I hope this blessed you. I look forward to talking to y'all next week. God bless you. All right, see you next week. Bye.